Welcome to the Teaching Autism and Special Education Community Podcast. Hi, I'm Nikki, a passionate special educator, autism advocate, resource creator with over a decade of experience, and you may know me as the face behind Teaching Autism. This podcast is your go-to place for practical tips, hands-on strategies, and inspiring and funny stories to support special educators all around the world, whether it's building independence, creating engaging lessons, or finding that elusive work-life balance. I'm here to help you thrive inside and outside of the classroom. Let's dive into today's episode and make a difference together. Hey teacher friend, welcome back to the Teaching Autism and Special Education podcast. Today we're digging into a big one, inclusion, and more specifically, how to make inclusion work without a million extra hours of prep, because let's be honest, we all believe in inclusion. We want every child to belong, to learn alongside their peers, and to feel part of the classroom community. But when you're juggling IEPs, sensory supports, different levels, and a million tiny details, inclusion can feel like this massive mountain that you just don't have time to climb. So today I'm going to walk you through real low prep strategies that make inclusion doable. Not perfect, not Pinterest ready, not TikTok viral, just practical, functional, and effective. Grab a notebook because this episode is full of quick wins that you can try Monday. So let's start by clarifying what inclusion is not. It's not about placing a student in the general ed classroom and hoping that they will keep up. And it's not about forcing everyone to do the exact same task in the exact same way. True inclusion means access to learning, to peers, and to participation. So when we talk about low prep strategies, what we're really talking about is making small changes that remove barriers, not adding more work. Inclusion works best when it feels natural. So here's a simple mindset that will change everything. Everyone's going to the same destination. Some just take a different route to get there. And that is literally inclusion in a nutshell. You might have one student writing sentences, another one who's matching words to pictures, and another one who's using AAC to describe what they see. Same concept, different path. And the best part, you can set that up without rewriting the entire lesson plan. So low prep strategy number 1, use visuals everywhere. Visuals are your best friend in inclusive classrooms, and they take almost no time to prep. You can use visuals to show what to do in a step-by-step format, support comprehension, guide transitions, reinforce vocabulary. You can print simple picture cards. You can reuse visuals from your classroom or display icons on the board. So for example, instead of explaining cut, glue, then colour, show it in pictures. You can use finished bins for students who rely on concrete closure. You can add a first and then strip for everyone, not just one student. And you'll be amazed by how many general ed students will benefit from this too. Strategy number 2, simplify tasks, not the content. So a big myth in inclusion is that we have to completely change what a student learns. And often we don't. Sometimes we do, but often we don't. We just need to make it more accessible. So for example, instead of a write-in paragraph, you can let them choose pictures or symbols. Instead of cutting out a worksheet, you can give it pre-cut, or you can give them Velcro pieces. Instead of completing 10 math problems, have them do 3 with support. The content stays the same, the path just adjusts to meet the learner where they are. So a quick trick, I want you to look at your lesson plan and ask, what is the goal here and how else could a student show it? Because if the goal is comprehension, they don't have to write a full paragraph. They could circle or point or match or build or verbalize. Strategy number 3 is to strategically pair your students. Peer support is one of the most powerful and easiest inclusion tools out there. You can use peer buddies for tasks like gathering materials, modeling what to do next, reading instructions aloud, partnering doing centers. The trick is to pair thoughtfully. So don't always put your neurodivergent students with the same helper. So rotate pairs and then relationships will grow naturally, and teach peers how to help appropriately. You can literally set this up in under 5 minutes. A quick partner board, visual chart, chart, even names drawn from a jar. It costs zero prep and creates instant inclusion. Strategy number 4 is to use universal tools. The more tools that you make available to everyone, the less singling out happens. So some great universal supports that I love are noise reducing headphones, fidget tools, alternative seating, so things like cushions, wobble stools, even standing options, visual timers and choice boards, because if everyone has access to these, no one is going to feel different. Nobody's standing out, and you don't have to create individual systems. They can be built right into the class routine. So you can try a sensory shelf or a regulation basket available to everyone. You'll actually be shocked, I think, at how often general ed students will try and grab those two. Strategy number 5, use adapted books and shared reading. So adapted books are the ultimate inclusion hack. They're visual, they're interactive, and naturally differentiate. You can read a story aloud while some students point to pictures, others read along, others may answer work questions or label objects. It's one shared experience with built-in levels, so no extra prep is needed once you've got a few of these favourites printed and laminated. And shameless plug here, because you know I've got hundreds and hundreds of adapted books for this reason, and I'll link to them in the show notes. Strategy number 6 is to incorporate choice. Choice builds independence and engagement. And guess what? It also cuts down on behaviours. So try add in choice things like, do you want to colour or cut first? Do you want to use a pencil or a crayon? Do you want to sit on this seat or there? It takes seconds, and suddenly your student is going to feel empowered instead of overwhelmed or out of control. Choice doesn't have to change your lesson, just how it's accessed. And strategy number 7 is to anchor your learning around routines. So students with additional needs thrive on routine. So whenever possible, try to embed new learning inside your existing routines. So some examples of this, you could do morning meeting literacy tasks. You could use snack time for communication goals. You could practice counting during cleanup or lining up time. It keeps expectations predictable, and you're not planning something new. You're sort of just layering learning on top of what you already do. That's inclusion through flow and not extra work. Strategy number 8 is to use simplified language and modelling. You don't need fancy visuals or extra materials to make lessons inclusive. Sometimes it's literally just about how you talk. So keep your instructions short, clear, and concrete. Say what to do and not what not to do. So for example, you don't want to say, don't forget to put your papers away and don't talk while walking. What you can say is, put your paper in the tray, then quiet line. Then model everything. Hold up the paper, show the tray, walk quietly yourself, stand in the line quietly, because modeling is the most inclusive teaching tool you already have, and it takes zero prep time or work. Strategy number 9, focus on shared experiences. So inclusion doesn't have to mean identical tasks. Sometimes it's about sharing the moment. So if your general ed class is doing a science experiment, your student can pour water or hold tools or match visuals. They can identify colours or sequence pictures of the steps. They can use AAC to comment, it's fizzing, I see bubbles. Everyone is participating at their level together, and that is inclusion. The experience is shared even if the output looks different. Strategy number 10, keep communication open with the team. Inclusion isn't a solo act. Even the best low prep strategies work better when everyone's aligned. Try a shared inclusion quick tip sheet with a general ed teacher. Try a short Friday check-in to reflect on what worked. Try using Google Docs or a notebook for two-way updates, because consistency is key. So when everyone is using the same strategies, that support system is going to feel seamless. And a bonus tip, because I love to throw these in for you, is inclusion through environment. Sometimes inclusion starts with literally the space. A few quick tweaks that can make a big impact are to label materials with pictures and words, to keep clear pathways for mobility, to use calm colours and lighting when possible, to display diverse visuals, so photos, skin tones, even communication symbols. A visually accessible classroom helps everyone, not just your students with additional needs. And you're going to have days when it feels like everything clicks, and then you're going to have days when it's absolute chaos, and that's okay. Inclusion isn't about getting it right every time. It's just about showing up every day consistently and making these small adjustments. And what you're going to do then is you're going to help every student feel seen. They don't expect you to be perfect. No student is expecting a perfect teacher. They just need you there for them. And you're already doing that by listening to this episode. So I want you to remember, inclusion doesn't have to be another thing on your to-do list. It's not about fancy lesson plans or complicated steps. It is literally about intentional simplicity, visuals, choices, routines, modeling, and connection. And the best inclusive classrooms are built on small, consistent practices, not perfection. And the truth is, those same low prep strategies that support your neurodivergent students can actually end up helping and benefiting every single child in your classroom. This is your reminder that you are already doing incredible things and you don't have to do more. Just keep doing what works. Thank you for being the kind of teacher who believes every child deserves to belong, because that's where inclusion really starts. Thank you for listening today, and I'll speak to you again soon.